And there's a coyote up here. I'm trying to go find it. I hope it isn't. He was just sleeping right here. Where is it? Oh my God, he's right there. What's up, boy? How you doing, bro? Oh my God, that's awesome. What's up, coyote? I wonder if these things are dangerous. He looks pretty calm. If he just starts running at me, what would I do? No idea. Looks very good there. Very calm, very sleepy. Might be getting mad at me, so I'm gonna head out. All right, that was fun. Hey, what's up everybody? So back at the garden here, let me show you. It is a beautiful day today here in San Francisco. Beautiful, beautiful day. And yeah, I wanna talk a little bit about the week, what's been going on, and how I'm thinking about stuff. So, by the way, this coyote is over there. He's like a little bit over there. If I start seeing something moving my way, I might run, but I'm pretty sure they don't attack people. I don't really know though, whatever, it should be okay. So a lot happened this week and I kind of want to talk about it just in no particular order. So I guess last week I was really worried about make something and how, and if it'll ever be a business and that sort of stuff. And I focused a lot on that this week where it's like, how can this thing be a business, basically? Like I love teaching people AI, I love teaching people how to build stuff, I love helping them accomplish what they want to accomplish, but where can this become a business? And so I sent a proposal out to a couple of companies this week, and one of the companies has agreed to pay me, or pay the company $50,000 a month, $50,000 a month. And the deal, what I basically proposed was, hey, but this company is like a really big AI company. What I said was, hey, I will use your technology. I will show people your technology. I will teach them your tools, and I will teach them how to use your tool to make stuff. And they were very interested in that, and they pretty much agreed to it in like a one call, which was pretty awesome. And yeah, because the main problem that a lot of these AI companies are facing right now is like, everybody knows that these tools exist, but like, how do you actually get people building real stuff with them? That's always the thing. Like, just because you have a better tool doesn't necessarily mean that everyone's gonna use that tool to do great things. I'll give you a great example. Like, the computer exists today, right? The computer is a really powerful tool, but no one taught you to use a computer per se. I'm pretty sure most people watching this were never taught to use a computer. You picked up a computer and you started using it. But if you want to use a computer in a more powerful way, well, then you do things like learn computer programming. You do things like learn digital marketing. You do things like learn design. And you go through 4-year programs. You go through internships. You go through all this stuff to have a better sense of how to use this really powerful tool. And that's something I think a lot of these AI companies are facing right now, which is like, no one from the masses from the general population is really using these tools to their full potential. Like in reality, who's really using AI to build stuff? It was the people who were already building stuff before, but there's not really that many new people coming in and building stuff. And so I think a lot of these companies are aware of that, and they know that you can't just do a bunch of IG ads or a bunch of influencer marketing and get people to build stuff. That's not how it works. Just because you get 1 million signups on your AI builder product doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to do really interesting things with that, and that they're going to build real businesses with it, and that they're going to retain long-term, all that stuff. That's still up in the air. It's still like a very early industry. And so my pitch was basically, hey, like, I'm going to do stuff that's going to help people build stuff with AI longer term. Their ideas, their own businesses, whatever. And yeah, I just sent that proposal to 2 companies. One was a really big AI tooling company. So they've agreed to it now, which is pretty cool. I still have to get to the final contract. I'm still not sure if I'm going to say yes to it, which I'll talk about in a moment. And the other company is a big AI lab. So there's only 4 big AI labs, or 3. So yeah, 3 or 4. And so I'm talking to one of them right now as well, to also pay me $50,000 a month. So yeah, that would have Make Something making $100,000 a month, or $1 million a year, and it hasn't even been a month since it's existed, which is really, really cool actually when I think about it. So why am I not like, jumping on this? Why am I not, like, oh, let's fucking go? I guess, the kind of weird thing within me is that, I don't want to just like be a shill for these companies, I don't want to just like go up on a live stream or do a piece of content just because someone's paying me to do it or paying me to talk about their thing. Like I don't want this to turn into that. And you know, I myself pride myself on putting out authentic material all the time. And you know, I don't want to put out XYZ tool just because they pay me money. I want to talk about XYZ tool because they're actually really great. And because I actually enjoy using them and because they're actually a good product and because like I use them in my workflows, you know? So I'm still kind of thinking through that and juggling that a little bit. But what is the good news is that it's cool that I made these proposals and these companies are down and there's interest. I think that's already really cool. Could this be a really big business? Like, could this make like tens of 20s of hundreds of millions of dollars a year? I don't think so, but I don't really think about it like that. I think more like, okay, can this make $10 a year? Can this make 10,000? Can this make 100,000? Can this make $1 million? I think about it more stepwise. So I don't really think too much about the caps, like the ceilings of different ideas. What I think about is more like, okay, once you reach the ceiling, there is always a way where you can break past that ceiling usually. It's very, very rare that you have an idea that has a ceiling. It's just up to your own creativity and how fast, you know, how far you want to push it, I think. So yeah, if Make Something can make $1 million a year, that means Make Something can make $5 million a year, I think. But I think it's going to take some more pushing and more kind of some fresh ideas to do that. So that's that, right? That's the money piece. That's the business piece. That was this week. It was really cool. What else happened? Another thing I was thinking about a lot about is like, okay, like it's cool that we're getting up on a live stream every weekend. Right now, Make Something is just one live stream every Saturday, which is kind of crazy. And so it's every Saturday, and you know, we do this thing, we do content, and we teach people how to build stuff with AI. But you know, I think that the tricky part here is like, how can you productize that, right? How can you put like that experience into a piece of software, if that's even possible? Sorry, it's getting a little bright here. The sun's in my eyes. I think like that's something that's a little bit tricky. How do you actually productize this experience of teaching people AI at mass and do that? Like, is it just content? Like, is it just like me making videos all day? Is it us doing live streams? Is it us doing like 10 live streams a day? Like, what is it? And so like me and Julian were playing around this week with this thing, with the products basically. By the way, Julian, I'm doing a co-founder trial with still. And so we've been working together for a bit. And so the idea is basically we built this product where it's an AI that watches your screen and teaches you how to do, essentially how to build your first app with Codex. And it can talk to you, it can watch your screen, it can unstuck you when you're in need of help. You can talk to it, and it's like a true AI learning buddy. You know, we wanted to make something where it, you know, the best way to learn something is often by having a friend right next to you who's really an expert at that thing and teaching you how to do the thing, right? And so we thought, okay, like why can't a model just do that? Why can't an AI do that? And turns out it does really well. So we built this whole product and we launched it 3 days ago, like last Saturday, at the last live stream. And we only launched it for people on Mac, to like a certain subset of people. And of course it was really buggy and a lot of stuff, but it was really cool. We got about 40 people to actually download it, and about 10 people actually successfully built their first app with our tool. And just to like be clear, like we're not making the tool, like per se, we're not making, you know, the AI that writes the code. We're literally just guiding people. It's literally like a sidebar on your Mac that will watch your screen and guide you step by step. Like, okay, now go to codex.com, now download Codex, now write your first prompt. You know, here's how to do the next prompt. Here's how to get your app off localhost. Like, it's doing that. And it's really cool. Like, it actually is very cool. And so we're playing around with that idea. That's still really, really early. But I think, you know, part of what I'm trying to explore here as well is like, okay, great. Like I know that you can make great content and teach people at mass. Like I think that was what BuildSpace was. That was awesome. And I think that like what I'm really curious about now is like, okay, like let's do that. Let's really do really great media. But man, I'm really curious, like how can you productize a lot of that learning into a piece of software? I don't think you can ever get rid of the human element. Like I think that I want to keep doing content. I want to keep making it feel very human and very like, you know, very real. But at the same time, it's kind of like, do I really want to be up on a live stream teaching people like, you know, how to build their first app with Codex like every weekend? Like, no, like I think there's better uses of my time probably, but I do think that like people need to learn this stuff. And like, yes, as of 2026, the only way to learn stuff is by reading and doing stuff, or by getting a real life tutor, or by watching a video and learning it. Believe it or not, there's no other way you can learn stuff today. There's no other way. And so I think that that's kind of where I'm really interested in like exploring. And so yeah, that was also really cool this weekend. We built that out. Julian's been working really hard on it, so shout out to Julian. What else? So we did another live stream this weekend. We got about 1,000 people to sign up. I think about 400 showed up, which is really cool. And about 200 people also built their app over this weekend. So the numbers are still kind of like doing really good. We started making more IG content. So I hired a friend of mine who's a filmmaker in India, and he's making some really great videos for us on Instagram now. And it's been really fun to just get back to that, to be honest. Like I love writing content. Like I don't love being in content really, if that's the surprising part. I don't love like the act of being in content, but I love writing content, you know, like the scripts, the hooks, like the audience, like the emotions you want people to feel. I love being part of that. Whether or not I'm in front of the camera, I don't really care, but yeah, so that's been really fun. And yeah, overall, how do I feel? I feel, you know, like, this is the weird part. I feel like I'm building the same company again. You know, I feel like I worked on BuildSpace, which was a total, from Zip School to BuildSpace, was a 5-year project. And I kind of feel like I'm doing the same thing again. And it feels weird. And it feels like, like, can I just like do BuildSpace again? Like I've thought about that a lot of times now, but then that's really tricky for a lot of reasons. And so yeah, like my brain's like a weird spot there. But what's cool is like, I am kind of like enjoying generally like the process right now of like making media, doing the live streams. You know, we have a wonderful Discord server now of almost 1,000 plus people where we co-work with them every day. I'm getting us, you know, I'm making friends in this community. I'm meeting new people every day in this community online. It's really cool. And it feels very natural, and it feels like, you know, very, very fresh. But a part of me does feel like, like, it's not that I feel bad. It's more like I feel like, man, like, I already put in 5 years of my life to work on this brand and this thing, or this company rather, this other company. And now I kind of feel like I'm from starting again. And honestly, when I look at the path forward, it feels very, the path will always feel very long, but I kind of feel like, oh man, can I just like take that other thing and start that again? I think about that a lot sometimes. But again, like very tricky to actually do that. Regardless, I think the way I think about it right now is like, I want to do things where I can move fast. And with Make Something, it's a new brand, it's a new identity, it's a new everything. There's no baggage associated with it. You know, there's no nothing. There's no like preconceived notion of what it is, what it's not. And that's also what I like about it. Like I can just like start and just do random stuff every day. And there's no like there's no right or wrong, you know? Whereas I think something like BuildSpace, if you do bring it back, there is some pressure around like doing it a certain way, I think. Whereas with Make Something, it's just like completely new. But then again, I may just be in my head about it, not sure. But these are all the things going on in my brain these days. But no, overall, I think it was a good week. I think that I would have liked more people to show up to the Saturday live stream. We did a bunch of random stuff to push it, but not that much stuff. We're also now working with our users who have actually shipped their first app. I offered them $40 to make a reel about it. So I was like, okay, instead of paying random influencers a bunch of money, random influencers who often just annoy me usually, I was like, what if I just pay my own people money, my own users money to talk about their experience? And so some people made some really cool reels, and I'm excited to kind of keep that experiment going as well. I don't necessarily believe in UGC, but I believe in that idea that you should empower people who enjoy your thing to go and talk about it, you know? And I guess that's UGC, but I don't really like when things have names or like official titles. It makes it feel very icky. And so yeah, how do I feel now about Make Something? I feel like it's getting somewhere. I don't know if I'm gonna keep working on it more than another month, more than another couple of weeks. The money aspect is very interesting, but I'm still balancing like, okay, can I take this money and also still like do this content and make something in a very authentic way? I don't wanna just, plug XYZ tool every time in front of my landing page just because they're paying me money. I don't wanna do that. I would rather just not do any of this at all, actually. It's kind of like when Mr. Beast plugs like, NordVPN. And the thing about that is like, Mr. Beast can do that because Mr. Beast is working at a completely different scale. And when you're working at the scale of like where I'm at, which is like people who make things, education, you're working at the level of millions. You're not working at the level of billions. That being said, I think that's why I'm also very interested in this product direction, still experimenting, gonna see where it goes. And so this week, just kind of focus on just going through the motions again, try to get more people on the Saturday live stream and try to make something happen. Honestly, the whole Saturday live stream deadline thing has been really good for me. I feel like the last couple of months I've been kind of like sitting around, and I work really well with deadlines. And it's nice to have a deadline because every Saturday you're gonna have hundreds of people showing up and they're gonna wanna learn stuff. And it's up to us to actually deliver an experience that is better every single time. And so it allows, at least me to push myself a lot. Whether that's making the live stream better, whether that's like making a product that we test, whether that's like, getting a new business deal that like, we can offer. And so, yeah, I think now Make Something has hit almost 10,000 plus people. I think we have like already 7,000 emails in the database, accounts. We've helped now 800 people actually ship their first app, like their first ever app. And so those are some crazy numbers in just 3 weeks, man. And yeah, I'm thinking about this still as a side project. I'm not sure if that's a bad thing. I'm not really thinking about this as like a company. Cause yeah, for all the reasons I mentioned before. But I think slowly, maybe as I keep working on this, maybe it becomes a company. I don't know. I mean, if it makes a bunch of money this week, I guess like, or if I agree to those deals, then like, I guess, yeah, like that'd be cool. But I guess it becomes a company. I guess one more thing, I'm having a bunch of people offer to give me money basically, like to raise money basically. I can raise a bunch of money basically right now if I wanted to. Probably like in the range of like $500,000 to like 4 to 5 million, I think. Anywhere in that range. And so I'm also thinking about that. Like, the way I think about that is like, it's very rare that you have the opportunity to raise capital at that scale and at a good price where you keep control. I raised money for my last company. That was great. Like no one ever messed with me. I had a great experience with investors and I felt like I had full control. And I would love to do that again. I would love to, I didn't feel like any pressure. No one ever pressured me, If anything, I pressured myself all the time, which is a different story. And so, yeah, I'm thinking about maybe raising money because, it's kind of, it's so rare that you just have it's not always that the market is going to be available, There are some times where the market's just not, like 2021 to 2023, like that was horrible. And now with the AI stuff picking up, like there's just so much good traffic. And so let's see. But again, I don't think I want to raise money if I don't know what I'm working on. I think that would be a bad idea. But I'm definitely not against raising money. Cool. I think that's all I got for you guys today. Yeah. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling healthy. I feel in a good zone. I feel in a good mood. The weather's been beautiful in SF. I'm working out daily. I'm eating right. I'm talking to my family. I'm talking to my loved ones. I think things are good. And I'm always a little bit stressed about not stressed, but I'm always a little bit upset with myself that I can't figure out something crazy cool. I'm always upset with myself sometimes that okay, cool. I'm teaching people coding every Saturday. That's fine. But I sometimes wish that I could figure out the crazier thing faster. And I know there's no shortcuts. That's the thing. There's just no shortcuts in this. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing it. It's just a matter of how much time you put into it and how many cycles you get through it. Yeah, how many cycles you put in, The more cycles you put in, the more you'll learn and the more you'll adapt and the faster you can move, So yeah, you don't just come up with a great idea. I think that's the sad part always. I thought actually, after all the experience I had that maybe I'd come back and I'd be able to recognize something really fantastic and great faster, but that's not how it works. In reality, it's like you just gotta do this stuff. And maybe one more note. This is getting long. How long is this? Like 12 minutes? Okay, I don't know how long this is. I guess one more note is that like I go back and forth on education, and if I want to start this company in education. I love education. I love working on it. I love seeing people be unlocked. To me, that's what education is. You're unlocking people at mass. There is no better initiative. There's no better thing to work on in the world, in my opinion, than that. Other than like, food, shelter, health, safety, and then education, in my opinion. Like, it's like such a core part because you're helping people like better themselves and like live better lives. And I think that's so, so important in today's world. And so like, yeah, but sometimes I think about that, and then I see some other random dude make like a bunch of money off of some open claw, like clone bullshit. And I'm like, man, like, I think about it sometimes, like, oh man, like, because just so you guys know, like, I'm not in a great financial situation myself. I'm definitely not broke, but I'm definitely not like, rolling in the dollars. And so, yeah, I'm 30. I think about my future like that. I think about like my future family, future whatever. And I think about it like, oh, like, should I just work on a good business? Like, how can I, work on what I love and make it a good business? I think that's always the kind of harmony that I'm looking for. And so, yeah, it's kind of funny. When I was working with Sharif, I actually had a lot of fun working on the AI tooling stuff, which was Tidbit, which was not related to education at all. But it was fun to work on it with Sharif because Sharif, it was just fun working with him, And so sometimes I think it's about that too. Like when you work with the right people, when you just work with the right people around you, it doesn't matter what you're working on because you're just having fun doing it. I think about that as well. So anyways, this has gone very long. If you made it this far, shout out to you. Check out the garden one more time. We can go and see if the Coyote is there together. So maybe I'll do that in a sec. But anyways, peace guys.